Welcome to Pemberley Farm. Well, today we're doing something a lot different. Today we're going to talk about gardening and fertilizing and planting and transplanting and planting seeds for seedlings in your greenhouse or in your windowsill or what all of that, spraying where that needs to happen. And so the thing is, how can you keep up with all of it? Well, because we have a lot of different areas of and also a lot of different age of fruit trees. It's kind of hard to keep up with everything, and so this is what I came up with so that at a glance I can look at this board and see when I need to plant seeds in my greenhouse so that I can have seedlings to transplant later, when I need to direct seed something, meaning when I put it directly in the ground. I don't let it grow a little seedling first and then transplant that. I do it directly in the ground. And so all these colors mean something. The start seeds is in the green, direct seed is in the purple, transplant is in the fuchsia, fertilize is in the blue, spray, and right now all I have on here is dormant spray, and that is done in December in my area. Okay, understand this is my area, which is Northwest Florida. Okay, and then harvest is in orange. And I understand you can't read all of this. We're going to put a photo in this video somewhere so that you could get it just a little bit closer. And Ashley's going to come up and kind of pan. So anyway, the board's not finished, but I wanted to go ahead and get this video made because we are now in the time where some seedlings need to be started. Some seeds needs to be planted so that we have seedlings to transplant in the fall. Again, I'm in Northwest Florida, and in Northwest Florida I can grow a lot of things well into winter. Okay, some things, a lot of the brassicas, it would have to be a very, very hard freeze for it to kill some of these plants. But we can even grow another crop of tomatoes and peppers. So July is the time for us to go ahead and plant seeds to create transplants so that we can be harvesting at the end of October, and in November tomatoes, and maybe even at the end of September depending, tomatoes and peppers, eggplant, things like that. So the thing is, it doesn't have to be confusing. Okay, so like I say, we're in Northwest Florida, and yours may look different, especially if you're in the north. You won't have all this stuff going on at the end of the year, but you might have some brassicas until your first real killing frost. So you have to look at what happens in your area. So how did I come to these conclusions? Okay, and again, it's not quite finished, but it's finished enough that you get the idea. All right, so how do I come to these conclusions? Well, several different ways. First of all, I've been gardening for 50 years, and so I don't consider myself an expert at gardening. I consider that we are all always learning new things and better ways. And so, but I have been doing it for a long, long time. And so I know in my area, for instance, that on February 14th, it's the traditional time to plant potatoes here. That's just the way it is. My grandmother and her parents, that's the way they did. And so those are just traditional things that happen here in our area. There may be the same kind of thing in your area. So I go from experience for one, okay, as to know when I can put something out, and understand weather may change this some. Okay, like if you have a really super cold spring, you can't put out your tender seedlings yet, and you may have to wait a little bit. You may have to up pot them because they're growing too fast and your spring is just a little too cold. Or you may have they may be forecasting you a really early winter, and so therefore that will affect things. But as a general rule is what we're talking here. As a general rule, this is when these things would happen. Okay, and so another thing that I use in the state of Florida, there is something called IFAS, and it's the agricultural part of the University of Florida. And that is the agricultural school in Florida, and they put out, every county has a like a county agent that's an agricultural agent, and so in our state, and they give out a bunch of things. If you have county agents in your area, go to them and ask for all of their papers and things that they have that would help you, because this one, see, this is for my area, and this is for because North Florida is different from Central Florida and way different than South Florida. It has what the item is, say bush beans, and it has North, Central, and South. So that tells you when you would plant those items, okay? And then it has a lot of other information too. Anyway, it just goes down a long list. It's a couple of pages of information as far as when. It even tells you the yield per 10 feet, plants for 10 feet, how many days to harvest, what your spacing should be, all of that kind of stuff, seed depth. It's very helpful and very useful. And so even though I've been doing this for 50 years, I still look at this every year, because I just want to refresh myself, make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself, which if you're a gardener and you really want to get the seeds in the ground, you're just chomping at the bit. As a general rule, we don't have really horrific winters. Now this last winter we had several days of 17 degrees, which is very unusual for us. I mean, we just don't go there, but we did this past winter. So, but as a general rule, I can grow things all winter in my area. So, and then in South and Central and South Florida, they can grow things year round. And I can grow something year round. It just depends on what it is. Again, you may be different. Another tool that I use and that I love is the Clyde's Garden Planner. Now, it is a very handy thing. So like in the fall, our first frost date is November 15th. And so it gives me a certain amount of vegetables and when I should seed them to transplant, when they should be transplanted, or when they should be direct seeded, and when approximate time of harvest. Again, depending on weather, So the same thing for spring. The other side is spring. It's the same thing. Our first our last frost date here is March 15th. And so as a general rule, now there's always exceptions to the rules, but I'm just saying. Now we sell these, and so if you're interested in that, we're in the process of setting up our web page, and it's kind of in construction right now, and it'll be several weeks before we get it completely up. But if you're interested in this garden planner, we sell them. Email us at pemberleyfarmshomestead@gmail.com, and we can arrange to get it to you that way until our shop is up on our webpage. And so anyway, that's pemberleyfarmshomestead@gmail.com, and let us know. These are $7. And so it's an excellent thing. Lasts you for years. It doesn't go out of date or out of, it's just always here. And so it's great. And so anyway, I think that it's easy. It's easy for me. It's easy for my family. If I say, we need to do this and so, then all they have to do is come look at the board and see, what are we supposed to be fertilizing in March? There's all that in blue. That tells them what are we supposed to be fertilizing in March. Right now, in July, we're supposed to be fertilizing. Those are things I've got to do this week. And, August is coming on us. And so, also, in June, this was what was needed to be fertilized in June. So I'm just saying, at a glance, I can look and know what needs doing. And so when got it completely finished, it's going to be, I think, for us, an amazing thing. Nobody will be confused. Everybody will know at the very least the approximate times for when to do what. So anyway, I thank you for coming by to watch our little video. I know that everybody doesn't have to have a big whiteboard. We're in my office in the old farmhouse, and not everybody has room for a big whiteboard like this, but you can do it on paper. You can take each month and color code and what needs to be done on one sheet of paper, and the next month has another sheet of paper. And so there's a lot of ways you can do it. You don't need a big whiteboard like this, but because this isn't in my house, it's in my office, then I thought this was the best way to do it. And so anyway, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask down in the comments, and please don't forget to like our video and share our videos. And if you've not already subscribed to our channel, please do so. It helps our channel to grow and reach out to other people. And also don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and we are coming soon to Pinterest. Depending on when you see this, we may already be there. But anyway, again, thank you for watching, and God bless you from Pemberley Farm.